Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's first session of our Humber Info sessions. This is a kickoff event, so thank you for jumping on. Today, you will get the chance to ask anything from Humber College, anything that you wanted to ask before starting this fall. So before we begin, I just wanted to go through a few housekeeping items. So closed captioning or CC is available in the menu at the bottom of the screen. You just have to hover over my face and then you can bring that up. You can also use the Q&A feature on the side to ask your questions throughout the presentation. We do have a fantastic team in the background ready to provide answers as you ask, but I'll also have time at the end of the presentation to ask some live questions for everyone. And if you are watching this as a recording at a later date, just feel free to post your questions in the comments. Someone from Humber should be able to get back to you. But you can also email us at student.recruitment@humber.ca, and we typically respond within 1 to 2 business days. So that might be a quicker option, especially for more complicated questions that you might have. And don't forget to like and subscribe just for more content from Humber College as we move through the summer and beyond. So without further ado, my name is Paul Vanderberg. I am a student recruitment officer here at Humber. Today, we're going to go through about 25 minutes of a presentation. Then we're going to ask some Q&As, and then we will close it off. But we will have some more events over the next 2 weeks. Some of them will be a bit more specific to things like financial aid or admissions. We'll also have some on-campus events, drop-in sessions, application workshops, campus tours. So a lot of really exciting things coming up over the next 2 weeks, kicking off today. So I'm going to start off with a really quick video. It's about 15 seconds here.
Bring your talent, drive, and all that makes you, you to Humber. And we'll prepare you to reach your full potential. Apply now at humber.ca/bringit. We are Humber.
So Humber College is located mainly in the west end of Toronto. We have our North Campus, which is about 20 or 15-minute drive from Pearson International Airport. So it's in northwest Toronto at the border of Mississauga and Brampton as well. Home to about 20,000 full-time students, and we do have residents for about 1,000 students, especially for those coming from outside of the GTA. And we also have our Arboretum at the back of campus, which is really nice. It's about 250 acres of forest and wildlife, which is great to just hang out, relax, but also some programs like urban arboriculture or photography. Even our culinary students will have herb and vegetable gardens out there. So it's a really practical space for our campus as well. All the buildings are connected at North. So once you go inside, you don't have to go outside as well. But one thing to note is the program you apply to will dictate the campus you go to. So most programs, almost all of our programs are offered at one singular campus. So it's just important for you to check our website so you know where you'll be commuting to if you do apply and get accepted to that specific program. Next, we have our Lakeshore campus, which is about 20 minutes south of our North campus at Highway 20, or sorry, at Kipling and Lakeshore. We have about 12,000 full-time students at the Lakeshore campus. Most of our degrees, with a few exceptions, are taught at Lakeshore. And we do have spots for about 400 resident students currently. That is about to expand once we open up our new residence over the coming year. And it is nestled right beside Lake Ontario. Obviously, some elements of this photo are photoshopped, but that is how close we are to the lake. So we're just about a rugby field away. But it's a really nice campus, a bit more spread out, but mainly you'll be spending most of your time in the building where your classes are. So you're not going to have to travel from building to building most days. Next up, we have our International Graduate School. This is located downtown Toronto at Yonge and Bloor. We do offer graduate certificate programs specifically, so programs that you already need to have a diploma or degree typically to attend. And this is traditionally only offered for international students, but some of the programs have been opened up to domestic students who wish to study at that campus. All of the graduate certificates that are taught at this campus are taught at either Lakeshore or North for domestic students as well. So a bit about the credentials that are offered at Humber. We have a variety of credentials. We are a polytechnic, so we're not college, university. We're somewhere in the middle, but all of our credentials are accredited in the same way that college or universities get accredited. So for our traditional college programs, those are 1 year college certificates, our 2 year diplomas, 3 year advanced diplomas, and then the traditional university program, the honors bachelor degree. We currently have about just over 30 degrees available. We've been offering degrees since 2003, so over 20 years. But those programs are accredited in the exact same way that universities get accredited by the same people in the government as well. So there's no difference between a Humber degree or we'll say U of T degree or Brock, where I went. But the main difference for all of our programs is that we have work placements for most of our programs, all of our degree programs, and we have smaller class sizes. So you're going to expect about 40 students per class, no matter which program you choose, which just allows you to have a more intimate learning environment where you get to ask questions directly from the teacher, not a teaching assistant, and get your grades from the same person who's providing you the information, which can be really valuable. In addition, we also have apprenticeship training and skilled trades programs. So if you want to be an electrician or plumber or urban arboriculture specialist, we have a program for you. The important thing to know about apprenticeship specifically is that you cannot apply directly to Humber or any college for that matter. You first have to find an employer, so someone who's already certified in that field. And then once you get hired, you'll fill out some paperwork. Your employer will fill out some paperwork. It'll all get submitted to Employment Ontario, and then they will assign you to a college close to your home address. So if you live around Humber and you're going to an apprenticeship that we offer, you're likely going to get assigned to us. But that process is a little bit different compared to all of our other programs. We also have Ontario graduate certificates, also sometimes known as postgrads, but the official term is Ontario graduate certificates. These are 1 year programs that you would apply for after you get a degree or sometimes a diploma or advanced diploma. So it's kind of hovering between that space, kind of above a diploma or degree, but below a master's, but they are considered graduate level programs. And they're 1 year, typically either 8 to 12 months. Often with a work placement to get you that industry specific experience and also training so that you can jumpstart your career regardless of what you got a degree in typically. Next slide. At Humber, we have over 200 full-time programs, so there's a lot to choose from. It can be a bit overwhelming, but we split them up into 6 academic faculties just to keep like-minded programs together and also share resources. Sometimes faculty will teach across different programs, or sometimes the teachers will teach across different programs in the same faculty. And also lab spaces are often used by multiple programs as well. So the program you choose, each one of them will be associated with one of these 6 faculties. So we have the Faculty of Applied Sciences and Technology. So that would be engineering, all of our skilled trades programs, architectural technology, things like that. Longo Faculty of Business, we have all of our traditional business programs, which could include accounting, supply chain management, marketing, anything you can think of when we say business, we'll have a program for it. But we also have non-traditional business programs. So by that, I mean things like culinary or hospitality programs, paralegal, the business of law. We have programs in sport management, professional golf management. So all foundational business programs, but with a very industry specific component to them as well, or a skill-based component. The Faculty of Health Science and Wellness, our ever popular nursing programs are here, paramedic. We're also the only English-speaking college in Ontario that has a funeral directing program. So that's a huge advantage for Humber. So every funeral director in the province of Ontario at some point, if they operate in English, they went to Humber to get certified. So there's a built-in network for that program as well, which is really great. We also have things in pharmacy technician, our Bachelor of Biomedical Sciences, if you want to go into pharmaceuticals or go into med school. So a lot of great options. Health sciences are a really big component of Humber's offerings. Liberal arts and sciences mainly has programs that will get you a jump start. So let's say you have a specific program, maybe a degree in mind, but you don't quite have the credits you needed from high school. Then you could do like a 1 year or 2 year general arts and science your grades or get the credits that you need. but we also have some other programs like our Bachelor of Creative and Professional Writing, which is housed in this faculty. Media and Creative Arts. This is where we have all of our performing arts programs, Bachelor of Music, our Acting for Screen and Stage program. We also have all of our film programs here. There are programs in public relations, in design, interior decorating. The list is really endless when it comes to faculty of media and creative arts. The other benefit is when you attend a school in a bigger area like Toronto, some industries don't exist in other cities. So if you are looking to get into film, if you are looking to get into music, you're going to have an easier time going to school in the city where you're actually going to be working after. And Toronto is a big hub for a lot of areas within media and creative arts. Lastly, we have the Faculty of Social and Community Services. So if you want to help others, there are programs here for you. Social service worker, developmental service worker. Instead of teaching a Bachelor of Psychology, we have the Bachelor of Behavioral Science. So again, still a degree, but very focused on what you're actually be doing later in your career. We also have emergency services, so police foundations. We have programs in fire services, pre-service firefighter. So if you want to help people, if you want to help build communities, there is a program here for you. And if you were like me and we're struggling with what you should do after leaving high school or even a few years after high school, maybe you're looking for a career shift, the Humber Career Finder is a great place to start. This is a 10-15-minute personality quiz that'll just help cut out all the noise. So it's going to give you about 20 to 30 programs that we offer based on your personality and your interests. So it's going to cut out all the other noise and just really narrow it down into a more concise list. And then from there, you can kind of do a bit of research and try to get to your top 3 to 5. From the Humber Career Finder, there's 2 buttons on this website. Take the quiz, book an appointment. So if you would like to meet with someone like me or one of my colleagues, we offer virtual or phone appointments for about 30 minutes, Monday through Friday, and you can book that through humbercareerfinder.com. But if you're not really sure who you need to meet with, you can also go to humber.ca/advice, and that's where you can find links to meet with a student recruitment officer like me, but you can also book an appointment with our admissions team if you have the program in mind, but you have questions about your application or documents. You can meet with our transfer team if you have done college or university before and looking to figure out what kind of transfer eligibility you might have. All of those booking services are linked through humber.ca/advice. Diploma to degree pathways. So this is a really important aspect of Humber's identity. As a polytechnic, we want to make sure students can start with something, but then if they would like to expand on it and get additional programs, get additional credentials, and reward themselves for what they've already done. So pathways allow you to start one program, usually a shorter program, and then upgrade it later by jumping into another program. And when you do a pathway that's been established, when we have a specific articulation agreement between those 2 programs, then you can actually get advanced standing, meaning you do a 1-year certificate and then you go into a diploma or advanced diploma. You don't have to start from the beginning. You can usually get about a half year or maybe a full year off of it. Same thing with a 2-year advanced diploma. You can jump into a related advanced diploma by just going into that final 3rd year typically. And then in the same 3 years, you would get both the diploma and the advanced diploma rather than just getting the advanced diploma altogether. Our most popular pathways are diploma to degree pathways. So let's say you start with a 2-year diploma, then you can jump into a related degree and finish that degree in sometimes 2 years, sometimes up to 2.5, 4 years, or sorry, 2.5, 3 years. So if it's super close to the content you're learning in diploma, you're going to get more transfer credits, obviously, but it does have a lot of options available to you. Same thing with a 3-year advanced diploma. Sometimes you can jump into the final year of a related degree. Sometimes it will take you a bit longer, just depending on how close those 2 curriculums are. Now, we also have pathways in and out of Humber. So let's say you do a diploma at another school that we have an agreement with, then you can still come over and finish up a degree at Humber and get a similar amount of transfer credits, or you can start at Humber and then transfer out into a different school. So there's so many options, but it typically requires you to start with a shorter program and then expand into a longer program. If you did what I did, which is start with your degree and then decide you want a diploma, you're going to be going to school for a lot longer because you don't typically get the same amount of transferability going backwards like that. So starting with a diploma, upgrading into a degree can be a really beneficial way for students to get multiple credentials in less time and also save a bit of money. We also have a really great tool on our website called the Explore Pathways tool, which is linked to through every single program page. So if you go to a diploma page on our website and click the Explore Pathways, it'll show you all the degrees you can get after. And usually you get about 5 years post-graduation to make that decision. Here are some examples of diploma to degree pathways that you can get done in 4 years flat. So essentially you're getting them done in the exact same 4 years that you do the degree anyway. So you're getting multiple credentials, but the same amount of time. So let's say you start with biotechnology, do that for 2 years. Maybe you go work for a few years as a biotechnologist. And then as long as you come back within 5 years, you can jump into the final 2 years of our Bachelor of Science Biomedical Sciences. Same with paralegal, 2 years there, write the paralegal exam, become a fully functioning operating paralegal in the province of Ontario, and then upgrade into the degree. Take you an additional 2 years instead of 4, but then that would open up doors like to go to law school to become a full lawyer if you'd like. Community and Justice Services or police foundations can go into the 3rd year of our Bachelor of Social Science Criminal Justice. Same with media communications or multimedia design and development. Both will flow into the final 2 years of digital communications. So again, we have over 100 different pathways like this. These are just the ones you can get done in 4 years flat. So it's super beneficial to learn more about what is available to you. We also have pathways from those graduate certificates that I mentioned into master's degrees, where you do the 1 year at Humber and then you go to a different school for your master's. And then you can usually get about a third of the way, sometimes even half the way through your master's, which is going to save you a ton of money. So speaking about money, estimating your fees, college, university, post-secondary in general can get quite expensive. So it's important to know what it's going to cost so you can do your budgeting and figure out where you're going to get the funding from. So diplomas, certificate programs, those are typically around $3,700 per year. A degree in Ontario, whether it's a Humber or a traditional university, you're looking at about $7,200 to $8,000 depending on the degree. And then for Ontario graduate certificates, those 1 year post-grad programs that we mentioned, they're ranging from about $5,000 to $7,000 for tuition per year. So on average, we put $6,000 here. Everything else on this list, those are estimates. There's lots of ways to save money. So for example, if you're buying textbooks brand new, you might spend $1,500, but you can at Humber rent the textbook for the semester, save about 60 to 70% off. You can get some books from the library if you don't need the book for the entire semester, if you just need a chapter or two. You can also buy used textbooks from our bookstore, which have a significant discount as well. So lots of ways to save money and cut that down by about 60, 70%. Same with supplies, parking, public transit, meal plan, all of this dependent on your lifestyle. So for example, if you're living in residence, you're probably not paying for parking. So take all that with a grain of salt. The first 3 on the list, that's set by the government. We can't change the tuition fees. Everything else is a bit negotiable. So it's important for you to explore the options, take a campus tour, figure out where there are ways to save some money when you're going to school. So how are you going to pay for this? We have a ton of different funding options available. All of our programs, starting at the college certificate upwards, are pre-approved by OSAP. So as long as you qualify for OSAP, you can get funding for whatever program you choose at Humber, whatever full-time program. But we also have other options to help you subsidize some of that cost. So work study, that's when you work on campus as a student while you go to school. The benefit is you cannot be asked to work if you have class. So unlike working kind of a part-time job at Starbucks where they just need to fill the shift, they don't really care if you have class. This is a way for you to earn money, but also everyone understands that you're a student first, and that should be the priority. Scholarships, bursaries, we offer about $7.6 million every year from Humber to our students. Bursaries, free money based off of financial need. Scholarships, free money based off of whatever criteria the scholarship donor came up with. A lot of them become available to apply in early August, sometimes a bit earlier. So check out our Humber Financial Hub. If you just Google Humber Financial Hub, or one of my colleagues can throw it in the chat, that is where all of these funding options are listed. You can also go to a traditional financial institution. I would just encourage everyone to exhaust every option on the list before that, before going to a traditional bank or other form of lenders to get funding, because they're not always clear with the fine print. So you just need to make sure you know what you're signing up for. But again, go to OSAP, find a work study job, apply for scholarships and bursaries, and if there's still a funding gap, then you might want to go see what else is out there for you. One of the ways that we spend that $7.6 million every year is through our degree transfer scholarship. So if you do one of those transfers that I mentioned, let's say you go from a 1-year certificate into one of our degree programs, we can give you $1,500 as long as you graduated from the certificate with above an 80%. If you do a diploma to degree pathway, and again, you graduated from the diploma with above an 80%, we'll give you $2,500 in the first year of your degree. You do not need to apply for these scholarships. It's just based off of the information you provided when you apply. When you get accepted, you find out on your offer letter typically that you get one of these scholarships. But again, you can still apply for all the other scholarships and bursaries available. This is just an automatic one that I like to highlight because it's a great way to reward students for what they've already done. So Humber is obviously focused on expanding your academic and employment opportunities, but we really want to focus on all aspects of you to make sure you are a healthy student and a healthy graduate alumni as well. So we have a ton of resources to help you with your financial health, whether that's financial workshops. There's opportunities to go to the accounting center where our accounting students will work helping students do their taxes and learn more about personal finances, things like that. Social health, we have a ton of clubs on campus available for you to sign up for, but you can also make your own club if you have a few students to sign up for you. Mental health services are really important at Humber. So there is free counseling for anyone who needs it. It's completely confidential. But we also have group mental health workshops, things like that, just to focus on mental health first aid and mental health resiliency. But for students who want to focus on maybe a crisis they're having or help avoid a crisis in the future, we do have that one-on-one counseling as well. And then physical health, every full-time student gets access to our Humber Athletic Center at both our North and Lakeshore campus. So that would include a weight room, cardio room, gymnasium space, fitness classes. Everything is included in your tuition. The only thing you would pay extra for is personal training if you choose to get one. But that is at a huge discount for students. It's about 50% of what members of the public pay for that same service. So while you're a student at Humber, again, focus on your academics, but make sure you're focusing on all the other aspects of your life and your health to make sure you're putting your best self forward. As mentioned earlier, we do have campus tours. They're offered Monday through Friday, every week throughout the summer and beyond. So you can either scan the QR code or go to humber.ca/tours to book. Just make sure you're planning ahead. You can book up to 2 weeks in advance. And these are general campus tours that are going to allow you to explore every space, every service that students are available to use regardless of your program. So it's a really great opportunity. We also offer campus tours during our open houses, which happen every November and every April. And then we'll have campus tours throughout the next few weeks during our summer info sessions. So feel free to sign up for that. Some of them will be in person and or virtual. So the virtual ones you can join from anywhere. The in-person ones, make sure you're double checking the time just to make sure you arrive at the right campus at the right time. All of that can be found on our website. So there is a really spectacular offer that's going on right now for students who apply before July 19th. So if you apply for a program for this fall before July 19th, you can actually get reimbursed your $125 application fee that's charged by Ontario colleges. The reimbursement will happen after the 10th day of class once you're fully enrolled in your program. So you'll see that on your Humber account usually about a week or two, about 2 weeks into the fall semester. So just make sure you get your applications in by July 19th so that you can reap the reward of getting that $125 back. So without further ado, before we get into the Q&As and the upcoming events, just make sure you take a moment to like and subscribe so that you can be up to date with all the Humber events going on in the next few weeks, and again beyond that as well. And you can check out our website for all the upcoming sessions. For tomorrow, though, we will have our admissions specific event, so something like this, but we'll have someone from the admissions team on hand answering your questions, giving a short presentation. That's from 12 to 1 tomorrow. We'll also have from 12 to 2, we'll have our from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. is admissions. From 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. is our financial aid virtual session. And then from 12 to 2, and then 6 from 7, we'll have our drop-in sessions in person at our North Campus, where you can come talk to myself or my colleagues to get advice on how to apply, advice on programs, anything like that. And then from 7 to 8 p.m. tomorrow, we'll have our North Campus tour, both in person and virtual. So just check out humber.ca/summer to sign up for the specific events so that you can make sure you don't miss anything. So this is my email, the student recruitment, student.recruitment@humber.ca. You can email us or again, post questions in the comment section if you're watching this at a later date. But without further ado, we're going to go through some of the questions that you've been asking. Thanks for posting them in the chat. So let me see here and just collect my bearings here. What is the process that I need to take admissions for ECE? So the first thing you should do is go to our early childhood education program page and check out the admission requirements to see what credits you need to apply. And then from there, once you're ready to apply, you would just head to ontariocolleges.ca and fill out the application form. And again, if you do so by July 19th, you'll have an opportunity to get that $125 application fee back if you attend Humber. If you do have any specific questions, or if you think you might be missing a credit, or if you have an equivalent credit and you're not really sure it matches, that's when you'd want to reach out to our admissions team. You can do so by attending the session tomorrow or emailing admissions@humber.ca. That's admissions with an S at the end at humber.ca. And again, all applications for domestic students are submitted through ontariocolleges.ca. If there are domestic students, so that's Canadian citizens, permanent residents, protected persons. If you are a domestic applicant, but you studied maybe high school, or you have admission requirements from outside of Canada, you just would need to get a WES or ICAS report instead of a transcript. So just make sure you're aware of kind of the timelines that would take. And if you already have a WES or ICAS report, just be aware that you'll have to go back to WES or ICAS and get them to submit that report directly to Ontario colleges. Any official documents that go through the hands of students typically become unofficial and cannot be accepted. So just make sure you're aware not only what documents are needed, but how those documents must be submitted in order to gain admission. And we do have sessions for internationally trained professionals this week. So it's a great way to get information on how to maximize your experience and education from outside of Canada with Humber, so that you can hit the ground running in the Canadian job market. So just be aware of that as well. So for the person you asked about the AI and machine learning graduate certificate, you must first have a bachelor's degree, advanced diploma, or equivalent, specifically in computer programming, software engineering, or computer science. So again, for graduate certificates, you first need to graduate from another post-secondary program first, either inside of Canada or outside of Canada. But for the AI and machine learning specific graduate certificate, you do need to have a credential in computer programming, software engineering, or computer science. So just be aware of that. Next question. Can someone who takes the Child and Youth Care program also go into the Bachelor of Social Science bachelor's program? Okay, so we do have pathways from the Child and Youth Care Advanced Diploma into a few of our degree programs. So if you go to the Child and Youth Care advanced diploma program page and click on explore pathways, you can actually track all of the degrees that are available. And if you click each one, it will tell you what grade you needed in CYC to make the transfer. So usually it's about 65% in the diploma will allow you to apply for any of the related degrees and get advanced standing. But again, if you graduated from the diploma with above an 80%, then not only can you apply, but also if you get accepted, you'll get that $2,500 scholarship automatically. So just be aware of that. Uh, so do you have a project management programs? So we do have a project management postgraduate credential. So a 1-year program that you can apply for after you get your degree. It's a 2-semester program, so it's about 8 months to complete it. I believe there are online options for that as well. Double check our website for that. But you can also check out our continuous professional learning courses. Those are part-time courses where we have a project management credential there as well. It's a bit of a lower credential, but especially if you're working full-time and just need something kind of to put you over the top for that promotion, the continuous professional learning program might be a good fit for you there. Okay, so next question. If I graduated with a Bachelor of Fine Arts in uni and want to pursue a career in law, would you recommend doing a paralegal diploma? So we have our paralegal diploma, which is 2 years, our paralegal bachelor's degree, which is 4 years, and then there's a 2+2 where you can do the diploma and then the final 2 years of the degree. But we also have a paralegal postgrad, which is a 1-year program. So if you already have a degree, you can technically apply for law school, but you might not have the experience or the area that they're looking for. So the postgrad might be a good fit in that sense because it's 1 year, you become a paralegal, and then you can use your degree and postgraduate credential to apply for law school. But what I would recommend is actually finding law schools that you're interested in and then contacting them to see what admission requirements they require. And that might help clarify if doing another undergraduate would be beneficial, or if your current degree plus the paralegal graduate certificate would be a good fit. So I would start at the end, contact the law school, see what they need, and then work your way backwards from there. But at Humber, we do have a few different levels of paralegal programs that may help you get to your goals. So I think those are all the questions. Let me just check here. Perfect. So yeah, so I think we'll wrap it up for now. We're a couple minutes over, so thank you for your patience, everyone. Again, check out our sessions over the next 2 weeks. There's a ton of information coming your way. And if you do have any questions, or if I missed a question, first off, I apologize, but please send it to student.recruitment@humber.ca just to make sure that we can get all your questions answered. Again, we respond within 1 to 2 business days through that email. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Humber YouTube channel, and I hope to see you either in person or virtual over the next 2 weeks. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for joining.